Hi everyone, welcome to the Handicap Rugby Chat That Matters. Yes, it's Thursday night before a Rugby World Cup semi-finals. We cannot wait for the action to begin. I'm waiting for my live guests to join me. Two of them are here already. The third one, Oracle, we're busy getting you the link. Oracle, if you're on the live chat, we'll get that to you now. If you haven't watched the show before, make sure you go down below if you're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll be notified of all of our shows. And if you're not on YouTube, you're on Facebook, then like the Good for the Game page. Make sure you do get notified of all of our shows going forward. Well, as I said, Rugby World Cup final time. Can't wait to get our teeth into this one. It's a great betting weekend. We will also be touching on the Mitre10 Cup. You've got the finals taking place this week of both the Championship and the Premiership. And we've also got plenty of rugby in Europe, the Pro 14, as well as the English Premiership. So we'll see if the boys fancy in bets on that. It's time, though, to introduce the panel. And let's start in the middle of my screen. It's the conductor, Brendon Wessels. Brendon, good to have you on the show. Sound and that all working well. I know you were battling to pick me up earlier.
Yeah, Brent, all working well. Good to be on the show again.
Excellent. And Hanrick Swart is busy sending Gavin Cohen, Oracle Rugby, the link. But let me welcome Hanrick as well. Hanrick, you got that look about you that says you're excited for these semi-finals, and you've got a couple of big punts coming our way tonight.
Hi, Brent. Yes, I'm excited. I'm not punting that big. I had two actually on the box game, but I've tried to put this lower the stakes a bit after the group games is finished, because I believe most of the value has gone and the bookies will be on it from here. But there is two bets I like in the box game. Oracle, I just sent the link to him via Twitter on a private message, so I hope he gets the message.
Yeah, excellent. Oracle, check your private message. Welcome to the boys in the live chat. Reverend joining us from New Zealand as well. So always good to have the guys who tune in from down under. But let's get into the action, guys. I mean, Brendon, let me ask you first of all, last week's quarterfinals, how did you come out from a betting perspective? Was it successful for you?
Yeah, Brent, I had a really good week. I sort of went for all the favorites, which I think, there was always going to be one upset. I had Wales at -6.5, and I also had them on the board in a lot of my multis. So, man, I was sweating right until the 73rd minutes into that rip, and Wales scored. But they tried to butcher that. Val Mahina must be on drinking death for the rest of his professional career after that move. But it was a really good. I went big on England, as I said to the guys. I was super confident there. England really came through, and so I was confident on the box. It was. Russ's game plan is a game plan, and we need to believe what he believes. But luckily they pulled away in that second half to win the cap. I wasn't as confident as a lot of the guys on the New Zealand-Ireland game. Oracle, I think, must have cleaned up on that one. New Zealand's pulled away there, but like I said, Wales and France was a proper scrap.
Excellent. Well, let's welcome Oracle now. He's coming to us from a dungeon somewhere down in KZN. Oracle, test your sound there, mate. Can you hear us? Oracle, now you're coming to us from. I can hear Oracle. It's a bit delayed there. Oracle, can you hear us?
No,
can you hear us, Oracle?
Can't hear us.
No, you can't hear us there at the moment. Try go out and come back in again, Oracle. In the meantime, let's move to Hanrick. Hanrick, how did the quarterfinals treat you?
Brent, my betting on the quarterfinals was a lot like yours, from what I've read and what we have spoken about. I was on the England, I was on the unders, and then total points are unders in England to win the game. And then halfway through the game, we talked on the game, and I took some under 56, 57.5, and that meant I took square on that game. And then, like you, I went big on the unders on the New Zealand-Ireland game, and I had a big loss there. And then on Sunday, I didn't have a bet on the Wales-France game. I had no feel on it, so I had no bet on that. And then I had the box on the minus against Japan. So not as big as win as I lost on the other side, slightly down for the weekend. But with the other games, the Mitre10 Cup and the bit of the Premiership, where I got some spoke to guys that knows a bit more than me. I hear an echo. You echo as well.
I hear an echo. Let's just mute Gavin there for now. See if that is it, perhaps. Hanrick, thanks. Just to welcome the guys in the live chat. John Finlayson, he commented on Facebook. He followed the Oracle big time last week and made some good money. So let's hope the Oracle's in top form tonight as well. Let's give Oracle a test run and see if we can bring him in.
I'm not hearing anything.
You're not hearing us at all, Oracle? Oracle, what I'm going to suggest, when Brendon came in earlier, he couldn't hear us. I'm going to put a note in the live chat for you, and ask you, and maybe Hanrick, you can ask him in the WhatsApp group just to try go out and come back in again and see if that works. But Brendon, let's start with you then for the first of the semi-finals. We've got England against New Zealand. A lot of people, Brendon, are saying that this should be almost like a final. We've got the handicap sitting at -7.5 points in favour of New Zealand. But I've seen punters very much split on this one, with some like me saying that England can win the game and others saying, no, this is going to be comfortable New Zealand. Where's your money?
Yeah, it's a tough one, Brent. I know you've got a bit of money on England to win the tournament. So I think you're down the one way. I think Gavin is he's talking about -15, -20 on New Zealand. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to actually ever bet in the game, and the reason is I actually want England to try and win the game. So, you know, my wallet says New Zealand. Man, they were clinical against Ireland. But I think I may actually stay out of the game to actually just enjoy it. It's going to be physical. I think for the box supporters, all we want to happen is just for England and New Zealand to knock the two bowls out of each other and to be really raw by the time they approach that final. Look, but pushed for a bet, you know, New Zealand are number one for a reason. You know, they just seem to lift that level when they need to. But I have a feeling Eddie will come with a plan, but I'd always sort of back the New Zealand on the board or a -7.
Excellent. Oracle, I don't know if you can hear us now, but I am muting your mic. We've definitely got some feedback from Oracle's mic there. So when you're not talking, Oracle, I'll definitely be muting you because there's a bit of an issue there. But let's see if we can welcome Oracle to the show. Oracle?
How's it, Brent? Yeah, so I couldn't hear you. Thanks for the link, Hanrick. I'm a little concerned that Brendon's calling himself the conductor. He doesn't have one of those conductor hats that the dudes that get onto the taxis don't drive them but collect the money and hand it to the taxi drivers. So you got to get one of those hats if you want to call yourself a conductor. Yeah, you can hear me. I'm here. I'm good. I'm not boozed up like some of the comments earlier, so don't worry. I'm full of what's the word? Concentration. I'm ready to go. So send the questions.
Excellent.
And send your bets, Brent. Last week was a bit of a tie.
Yeah, I know we're going to line up against each other. But, Oracle, let me just ask you to wrap up last week quickly. I mean, I know you lost on Australia, but then you bounced back strongly on New Zealand. And if I'm not mistaken, the box ensured you finished the weekend nicely up.
So last week, my small plays were Australia and France. I was with you on the France on the board. Disappointed that they didn't get over the line. My son pointed out that had they taken that 3-point kick and not got involved in that maul that caused the red card, they probably would have won the game by 20. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. I mean, that's how it goes. I know Brendon and myself had a bit of a conversation on WhatsApp about the red card. I'm not against red cards. I'm against the red card system. And you've heard it all before. I'm not going to elaborate it on now. But, yeah, I think Wales were poor. They should have won comfortably, given the red card was early in the second half, and they struggled. So yeah, it was a great weekend for me. It would have been even better. I'd taken a double, New Zealand -23 onto South Africa -27, missing out a little bit. And I'm not going to blame the fact that there was another try missing. It's more about Handré Pollard missing a couple of kicks. In fact, I think he missed about 10 or 11 points. Had he done that, he would have closed the gap on Farrell and Mwanga. I know the guy was asking on the DG show earlier, DGD show, so sorry. Yeah, so Farrell's on 44, Mwanga's on 37, Pollard's on 33. Yeah, it's all open. The Japanese guy's still leading, but he obviously can't win. Well, it'll be a miracle for him to win. Yeah, it was a great weekend for me. It would have been even better had South Africa won by 28 or more.
Right, let's move on then to Hanrick on this game. Hanrick, what are your thoughts to England? I know, like me, you've got a bit of a position on England to win the tournament. Are you getting further involved in the game here, looking at the points lines? What's up here?
Yeah, Brent, like you said, I've got money down on England to win the game. So it might sound that I'm not that I'm a bit biased because I have money down on them, but I truly believe England will win this game. I think New Zealand team has been strengthened with Scott Barrett starting at 6 ahead of Sam Cane. I don't rate Sam Cane. I never have rated him. So I think that strengthens the team. But I like George Ford starting at 10 with Farrell at 12. And I'm a massive Eddie Jones fan. I love him. I love his the way he does things and the way he speaks to the media. But I think he's a brilliant coach. He's a very canny coach. So I like this England team, and I still believe they will go all the way. If New Zealand goes through to the final, I can actually see South Africa beating New Zealand as well. But I can't see South Africa beating England. They won't beat England. I believe New Zealand will win this game. I will take a bit of England to win the game. I'm not going to worry about the plus. I'm not going to punt on the plus. Just going to have a smaller bet on England to win the game. My main focus here will be unders on total points, 42.5. I've already taken some under 42.5. I think both semi-finals will be lower scoring. England and New Zealand have good defense. So, yeah, I think the unders is the way to go here for me, and that's my punt on this game.
And just on the unders, have you looked at conditions? Are we expecting good conditions for the game? Is it under closed roof? What do we have to look for there?
It's an open stadium. Both games is in Yokohama. There's a lot of rain tomorrow, like a lot of rain tomorrow in Yokohama. But on Saturday and Sunday, it's clear, so there won't be rain there. And I suspect the drainage system should be good. So, yeah, the conditions should be good.
Right. Well, let's go to Oracle now. Oracle, I'm going to ask you just to unmute only as you come on, because there's definitely some feedback. I can hear my voice on your side when I speak to you when it's not on mute. But Oracle, what are your thoughts on this game? Because I've got a feeling that you and I might be going up against each other here.
Okay, sorry. Brent, I've got to tell you, I'm listening to Hanrick here. I'm listening to you. I haven't heard the conductor yet. I've got to tell you, I'll be impressed if England get 10 points. New Zealand will absolutely smash this team. And when I say smash, I'm talking about 15 or 20, probably even as much as 30. I'd be very scared to go unders here. I know Hanrick's unders. I got to tell you, go unders on England. England will be lucky to get whatever points they quote. It'll obviously be a double digit. I can't see it. It's just not going to happen. George Ford can be fullback. He can be prop. He can be the fly half. It doesn't matter. It's race over. England have got no match against this New Zealand team. They're way too strong for them. If you know, the Irish press have been going on this whole week. In fact, I saw that Sunday guy's wife complaining that when she got home, the Irish press were all over them and moaning how rubbish they were. Well, she's just going to hang on for a couple of days because all those journalists are going to get on a ship. They're going to go over to England and they're going to sit at the airport on Monday morning when the English arrive, and they'll have the same conversation. This is race over. Eddie Jones can pull whatever card he likes out of his shirt, pocket, jacket, briefcase, whatever it is. It's race over. England have absolutely no chance here. This is race over. And if you think I'm confident about this one, wait until you hear about South Africa and Wales.
Oh, we can't wait to hear that one. Oracle, I've got to ask you then, you know I'm on England. Are we going to have an even 500 Rand on the handicap 7.5?
I'm only seeing 3 digits in that one, Brent. You got to, I don't know, sharpen your pencil. Let's go 4 digits here. $1,000, $2,000, call it. I don't care. It's over. Doesn't matter.
Can I get some as well?
Hanrick also wants to get in on the action.
While Oracle is
get on.
I want some as well.
Well, I'll take $1,000. Definitely $1,000 for me, even plus 7.5.
I'll take $1,000 as well.
You're done. Hanrick, you want $1,000 as well? You want one as well? You can have it.
Yes, great.
Excellent. Sorry, sorry, Oracle. We got a bit of problems with your sound, man. So
I was going to say, I can't hear the conductor.
The conductor? There's a conductor
for the next one to get on here.
Conductor, any final thoughts on this game for you?
Yeah, Brent. Like I said, I'm not getting involved. I really think it's going to be close. I think Man, Eddie's not a fool. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I'm not gonna agree with Gab on the minus 35 and Granny's pension rolling on that, but like I said, I'm gonna stay out of the game purely because I actually want England to win, and it's gonna be tough. I won't be putting any bucks down.
Excellent. Well, I haven't really given my opinion on the game yet, but you obviously could tell by the fact that I'm betting with Gavin on England that I'm with Hanrick on this game. I like the English. I think the English are going to win it. I'm going to be watching this game. My daughter plays a water polo tournament at St. Stithians this weekend. It's a massive tournament. The great news is I went and tested the beer tent out this evening. It's working wonderfully well. There's a beer tent. There's TV. We're going to be sitting there watching this England game. And I can tell you what, I don't know. I think most of the guys might be shouting for New Zealand. I'll be singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And I reckon the English are going to bring it home. I think England are going to win it. And, Oracle, one of us will be happy at the end of the weekend. Definitely not both of us. But I do like the English there. Just want to comment on total points quickly. Henrik mentioned the under 42.5. I'm in agreement with him here. I've had a look at past semi-finals history. We've had a lot of low-scoring games. The last time England and New Zealand met, if I'm not mistaken, was something like a 16-15 to New Zealand at Twickenham. So we've got a low-scoring history. In these big games, I am expecting it to be tight. Yes, I am a little bit worried about what happened to Ireland, but I think it's fair to say Ireland have been pretty off-colour all tournaments. I'm going unders, and I'm going England plus, and I'm going England outright to win the game. And, of course, I've got them outright to win the tournament as well. So all very bullish there. But, Oracle, let me give you the final word on this game before we move on to the next one. I'm going to unmute you now.
Yeah, listen, I've heard all sorts of stuff, and I got to tell you, it's the same. The media is hammering home England like they did Ireland and Japan last week. You know, these journalists, I don't know, they've got to start. I've got a saying, and I've said it before. The oaks in the office, they'll say this and that, say, quieten down or put your money down. I want to see these journalists in England start putting money on England, start borrowing from their savings accounts, and start backing like their mouth says. I'm all over this New Zealand team. And, you know, these guys, they'll say it. And you know what will happen on Monday morning? I got it wrong. I don't care. Start showing some money or otherwise quieten down. Seriously, I'm done with all of this journalist stuff. You guys, no problem. You can shout as loud as you like. Hanrick, you can shout the loudest. You are the man, I promise you. You put your money where your mouth is. Brent and Mr. Conductor over here, Oaks must have a go. But the guys that are not prepared to put their money down, they must quieten down and go sit in the corner. Simple. England have got no chance.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to bring Hanrick in there just to say, I mean, Oracle does make a good point, Hanrick. I think when guys are prepared to put their money where their mouth is, you do tend to take them a bit more seriously. And what Oracle's saying is true. People will moan and complain, but one thing we always do, I think all of us on this show, is if we say we like something, we're putting our money there. It doesn't mean we're going to win. Obviously, we lose sometimes, and you have to ride with those punches. But at the end of the day, it's not just a case on Monday morning and saying, well, everything's fine, because we've normally lost some serious time on the game.
Yeah, Brent, I know from my experience with my friends, I've converted most of them to punters. I pretty much started out as a punter, and most of them are punters now as well. And whenever somebody says something about rugby, someone would just reply on WhatsApp, send your bet slip. So you have to put your money where your mouth is, and then that way you get some respect. So then you know the guy's serious. You can't just go around saying stuff. If you put your money down, you're serious about it.
Excellent. Well, guys, let's move on. We don't have Couch Critic with us. He's still out in the bush there at the moment. He should be returning to the show next week, so maybe not much in the way of first try scorer bets or anything. I will just ask, though, just raise your hand if you do want to anything more on this game. Otherwise, we move on to the next game. Right, let's go on to the next game. And Hanrick, I'll stay with you. We've got South Africa obviously playing against Wales. Yeah, now Wales very, very lucky to get past France. South Africa, a bit of a frustrating first half against Japan, but they wore them down, like Gary Lenton said on the previous show. At the end of the day, that was the game plan. The handicap, let's not forget, was 15 points. They won by 23. So they did the business, and they did the business well. And aside from the Colby injury, they're going in virtually at full strength. We've got the late withdrawal of Liam Williams for Wales. What do you think is going to happen in this one, Hanrick? I know you were on the early -6.5, I think, with the likes of Sean Nicholas. And that handicap hasn't moved out too much, about 7.5, 8.5 now.
Yeah, Brent, I took the 6.5. I actually expected it to move out a bit more. I expected it to move to 9.5, 10.5. So maybe, well, it doesn't look like it's going to move because if it would, on team news, it hasn't moved. Well, under Liam Williams news anyway. Like you said, Colby out. I don't think it's such a big blow. I'm a big Nkosi fan, and Nkosi is good under the high ball. He's good chasing the high ball. Faf will be kicking a few up and out box kicks, and he's good at chasing those kicks. He's good in attack. So we won't lose anything on attack. I think maybe if anything, and I posted that on the forum as well. The only thing with me, I was a detractor of Colby, but I'm converted now, and he's a brilliant player. And he's very good at reading the play on defense, and he rushes up and catches the guy, the outside centre, before the ball goes out. So we might miss that a bit, but I don't think it's that much of an issue. The box defense, brilliant defense, and very physical. I think that Wales will bring more physicality than the Japanese brought. But I'm confident in South Africa beating the handicap here. But yeah, also confident in the unders on total points here. The quote came out on 40.5. I expected it to be 38.5 max. So I'm actually surprised that it has come out 2 points higher. I would be surprised if there's more than 30 points here in this game. So obviously I can't see Wales scoring a lot. I give Wales 1 try max, and then maybe 2 or 3 penalties. So looking at about 16 points for Wales maximum here and I see South Africa beating the handicap as well. So I expect total points about 30, 35 max for me. So I love the unders here, and I love the South Africa on the -6.5 as well.
Excellent. I just want to bring up Chris McGowan's comment here. It says Hadley Parks has been playing poorly. And I thought of that last week, funny enough. Not only that he's been playing poorly, but to me, he's never really been a top-class international player. And I remember thinking when they were playing France, I can't have a team with Hadley Parks in it. And that's why I went for France. Okay, unfortunately, they just lost it in the end, but they were a nice price. And I tend to agree with a lot of the comments of what Hanrick said there. I just want to give a quick shout-out. I see Clinton Govan watching us on Facebook. We've just started streaming to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So Facebook is very much in the inaugural stages. But if you do prefer to watch it on Facebook, you can. Obviously, the majority of the boys commenting and the comments that we bring up here is in our YouTube channel, which has been going for quite some time. Let's go up to the conductor. He's wearing a Liverpool shirt, no doubt confident that Liverpool are going to roll Spurs on Sunday. Conductor, what do you think of this game? You were very non-committal in the previous game, and I'm guessing that means you're going to come out firing in this one.
Yeah, Brent, absolutely. Look, I took quite a chunk on -6.5. Look, I took a bet a while back on SA to make the final. So I've got that riding, and I usually don't like to double dip when I've got something as good as that. So they're in the pound seats here, but -6.5 was too good to ignore. And with all the team news coming out now, I agree with, I think it was Chris that said Hadley Parks is really not an international centre. I mean, he battled in New Zealand. He's not great shakes. Liam Williams being out. Is not good news for Wales, especially the fact that Faf was going to bomb Adams' wing and Lee Halfpenny, because Halfpenny's not bad underneath the high ball, but he's not going to be any Liam Williams. And I think this is an early Christmas for Rusty and his box kicking game plan. So yeah, look, and I must say our defense has been really, really, really good. When we had the yellow card, Japan were on our line. There were some massive tackles, one by Dwayne. That was an absolute teeth rattler. Damien D'Alende, as much as I don't like Province or him as a player, he really had some great plays. He's really turned my mind about him, and he was unbelievable. And our defense in total was absolutely incredible. We denied one of the most attacking teams in the tournament a lot of points. So I can't see Wales scoring, and man, they were very ordinary against the French, even with 14 men. And, I see a lot of people saying the old adage of, good teams win bad games. I just thought they're really a bad team, and they were very lucky to win that game. There was nothing about it that said to me, they just had an off day. They looked best, except for Tuperik. Like I said, there's not many guys there that I would say are world class. But yeah, so box minus 6.5. I'd even say minus 7.5. I'd actually say minus 9.5. I'd be very confident. I think we're going to slow poison them properly on Sunday.
Excellent. Just interesting comment by Shane. And thanks to all the guys in the live chat. We've got a great turnout there tonight. Shane saying if you want to hedge out and get money on New Zealand, Barrett player of the tournament at 7-4. Quite an interesting one as well on that. But let's go to Oracle now on this game. Oracle, I've got a feeling we won't be having an even 500 on this game because I've got a feeling we're going to be singing from the same hymn sheet. What are you doing on this one? Let me just unmute Oracle. Yeah, somehow or other this thing's not working too well. There we go. Oracle, go.
Me. Sorry, I just wanted to say something to Shane. I'm a bit concerned that the commentators to give man of the match and player of the tournament and all of that, they won't know which Barrett is which Barrett. As you would have maybe seen in the GG show earlier, I'm saying Barrett will score the first try, Barrett will score the second try. I have no idea who they are. You guys are talking about players that are missing for this game. I only heard about a guy called Liam. I have no idea about these Welsh players. I know they're generally called Jones and Williams and whatever. That's all I know. I literally do not know the players, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to know, and I'm glad you guys are telling me more of them are out and less of them are in, and that's good news. There's the conductor of yours calling a minus 6 or 7 or 9, or Sean was saying it's up to 9. I got to tell you, if you want to play, I've always said this before, if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to stop pissing like a puppy. Don't get involved in minus 6 or 7 or 8. Get involved in minus 18, 19, and 20. That's what the business is. South Africa will not win this game by less than 20 points. A bad win for South Africa. Seriously, an absolute ridiculous win by South Africa will be a 20-point win. This has got to be 30 plus. I'd be very scared selling total points or going under total points here. Go under Wales. I'm with the conductor here. In fact, I'm actually more than the conductor. Wales won't even score a try, or Hanrick, whoever said it earlier. So I know one of you guys said it. Wales will be lucky to get 3 points. They might even get done 2-0. This one is race over. New Zealand will win by 20-something. South Africa win by probably 30-something. In fact, if you could get your bookmaker to offer you a bet, South Africa to beat New Zealand in this semi-final, in other words, South Africa to score more points than New Zealand, I'm going to go minus with confidence. South Africa will smash this Welsh team. They got no business being in the semi-final. They rubbish. They'll get taken out properly and deal a proper blow to the English. If you're going to have a one bet this weekend, back South Africa minus, get the big minus you can find. If you're going to have 2 bets or a double, go South Africa biggest minus onto New Zealand biggest minus. This one is race over. This weekend, South Africa and New Zealand will be in the final next week, and we'll be hearing about the wives or the wags or whatever of the English players moaning on Monday morning how they're unhappy with their team, and Mr. Stunder's wife over there will be happy because I've moved house.
Well, if anyone is in any doubt there, Oracle, we think, is on South Africa on the handicap. Very bullish thoughts there. I guess, Hanrick, just to bring you in, the danger, I also like South Africa on the handicap, and I guess the thinking is if South Africa run away with the game, that obviously does mean we're going to get some points, which kind of brings in going unders on the Welsh points line instead of the total points line. Also not a bad play.
Yeah, I also like the unders because I'm only giving Wales 1 try. I like the unders on their points. But then again, South Africa's attack hasn't really fired except for against Italy. They were very clinical. But against New Zealand and last week against Japan, there was nerves, and there will be nerves in the semi-final as well. So I can't see South Africa scoring like 30 points. So I give South Africa middle 20s, maybe late 20s. But yeah, I'm confident the unders here. Just one other thing that I forgot to mention. I took South Africa to win the World Cup at 7-2 last Friday just because of the easier running with Japan in the quarterfinals and Wales or France in the semi-finals. So I've got a good position if Wales and South Africa and England make the final. So I'll be very happy, man, if England can beat New Zealand, South Africa go to the final. And then one other bet that I noticed on WSB today, I even though I can't bet with them, I watch the website as well. They have a market for the team to finish third. They have Wales at 5-6. It was 9-10 2 days ago. It's shortened to 5-6. I think that's a great bet. You're basically betting on South Africa winning the game. You're getting 5-6 on Wales to get fourth.
On Wales to finish third or fourth, Hanrick?
Fourth.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't see them beating England or New Zealand in the third place playoff. The third place playoff is normally taken seriously by both teams. So you're basically betting on South Africa to beat Wales at 5-6.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough. Anything else on this game, guys, before we move on to some of the other rugby on the weekend and then settle on our best bets? Nothing from you, conductor?
No, Brent. No. I've got my SA straight win to make the final and my 6.5. So I'm really happy with that. I'm hoping we can actually absolutely dominate them. They looked absolutely gassed after that Fiji game. They looked absolutely poked in that French game, and I can't expect much of a rise again, from them against us. And Jake White can say whatever he wants to say, but at the end of the day, he doesn't coach any team. So not sure how valid his opinion is.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Greg Glossop. He's also watching on Facebook. He says he agrees with Oracle there. Oracle certainly does appear to have quite a lot of support there in the live chat. I just want to raise something, guys, on this game, because it's a bet I've been eyeing out on this one. And someone mentioned it up above. The name escapes me right now. But a drop goal in this game. I know World Sports Betting generally have a standard 18-10. There'll be a drop goal. I haven't had a look around to see if we can get a bigger price. But I think without a doubt we're going to get attempts at drop goal. And I'm even tempted for a very speculative play on any team drop goal, first scoring play at 33-1. And conductor, I don't know, what do you think of that? I mean, I know they're not the sort of bets you can fly into big time, but I think this Wales-South Africa game is going to have drop goal attempts in. Whether they go over or not, we can't say, but I'm pretty confident we're going to get drop goal attempts.
Yeah, I think you were saying about Pollard, and I think it's 100% correct. Pollard did drop against Japan, didn't he? If I'm correct, I think he did. So I think we can definitely expect, at least 2 or 3 attempts. And I'd back Pollard to start 1 or 2. So I think that's a hell of a bet. It depends who starts for Wales. Bigger does like a drop goal. So I'll definitely say it's not a bad bet. But I see Gav is definitely keen for a comment there, Brent.
Excellent. I'm going to bring the Oracle in now. Just to mention, the guys on the side are actually saying we should bring out some Oracle merchandise. Let's first see how New Zealand and South Africa go this week. But it might be a great idea to have some Oracle T-shirts. I think we'll bring them out as a part of the Good for the Game brand. What do you think, Oracle?
Yeah, I'm actually wearing a Lipton ice. Lipton Ice or whatever it is, Lipton tea thing from 2001. I was involved in the Lipton Cup in Cape Town, actually. And, so I'm wearing a bit of that merchandise. But, yeah, I'd like to see a bit of Oracle merchandise. So maybe there's make some clothes or whatever, and I'll happily get involved. And I only want a share of it. You can have most of it. I don't mind. I'm happy to get involved. Right, so I just want to lay you a bet here, Brent. You going any time...
Yes.
First scoring play drop goal. I'm going to lay you 40 to massively involved because this is a mug bet, but just for the call and to give the guys a bit of excitement, I'll give you 1,025 for each game, or I'll give you 1,050 for any one of both games. That's your choice. I don't see a drop points here. In fact, I don't see a drop goal at all. It'll score in the first couple of minutes a try, and it's race over. There it'll just run away. But what I wanted to point out is something that Hanrick just said. He said he backed South Africa last 7-2, seeing the easier run. Now, that was very clever. No, make no mistake. That was a very, very, very clever play. I backed South Africa and New Zealand or all Southern Hemisphere final at 7 minutes, and I got a bit of 2.75 when I pressed about 2 weeks later. But yeah, you could have got around about 5-2 to 3-1 about a New Zealand South Africa final, and you could have included Argentina, and depending on the firm that you were betting with, they were all there. And I'm expecting to be paid out this weekend. But what's interesting is that is actually 9-10 right now. So the outright win, the 2 qualifier win for South Africa and New Zealand, doubled onto each other. You're looking at 9-10. And I got to tell you, if you're really on the fence and you don't You don't know what you want to do yet. I don't want to go big on the minuses or whatever. I've got to tell you to 10, the double. South Africa to qualify, New Zealand to qualify. They'll both be in the final next week. Nobody else is going to be in the final. It will be South Africa and New Zealand. It'll be only difference is it might be a little bit more than 3 points next week, and South Africa will win it. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm collecting after the final whistle of the South African Wales game, my 7-2 and my 2.75 on Southern Hemisphere final.
And Gavin, just repeat what my bet. I just wanted on the one game, 1,000 to 25. What did you say? Or 1,000 to 50? 1,000 to 50.
Right, 1,000 to 25 of the game of your choice, or 1,000 to 50 either game.
Okay, I'll take the 1,000 to 25 on the Wales game. That's my game of choice. I'll take my 40 to 1, 1,000 to 25.
I'm not going to ask you for 25 rand, Brent. I'm going to 4 years in a bar of my choice when I'm with you one day.
Excellent. No, that's fine. 100%. Okay, guys, that's it as far as the World Cup goes. Then I guess anything else catches the eye in the long-term markets? Anything anyone wants to raise? Just raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll move on to see what our bets are on the Mitre10 Cup and the Pro 14. Hanrick's shaking his head, and let me go straight to Hanrick. Then Hanrick, we got the Mitre10 Cup finals, we got the Pro 14, and a bit of English Premiership football. What else have you looked at this weekend?
Yeah, Brent, I've had a look at the Pro 14 as well, especially two South African sides. I followed the two South African sides games more than the other ones. So I'm taking on the Cheetahs this week. The cap came out for Connacht. They're 4.5 points favourites, and that has gone up to 6.5 now. I'm still happy to take the 6.5. But then the other one, the Kings game, I'm much more confident. They're playing Benetton in Treviso. That came out at 13.5. Subsequently moved to 20.5. I got onto the 13.5. And I expect Benetton to win this by 30 plus. I think they will put the Kings away easily. Conditions will be perfect. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff, no rain, no wind, perfect conditions. And I'm waiting for the points markets as well. Yeah, I'll be all overs on Benetton points here. I really like Benetton strong here. So that's it for the Pro 14 for me. The other games I might get involved in, but I don't know enough about the Pro 14. I follow the South African teams closer than the other ones. On the Mitre10 Cup, after 2 weeks action, I backed Tasman to win the Premiership at 14 to 10, and also took a double Tasman to win the Premiership and Bay of Plenty to win the Championship. So I've got a good long terms there, and I'm expecting both of those to win. Current handicaps, I'm not going to have a bet on either of the handicaps, but I'll still take the two home teams to cover the minuses. Bay of Plenty, I think it's about minus 9.5, and Tasman minus 12.5. Tasman, they were a bit disappointing last week. Eventually, they got the job done, but I think they will be really up for this final, and I think they will put Auckland away here. Hawke's Bay were also a bit disappointing. They actually drew with Otago, and then it went to extra time. I expected them to win easier than that. So they made a bit of a meal of it, and Bay of Plenty put Manawatu to the Swart. So I expect both teams to cover the minus here. So that's my thoughts on the Mitre10 Cup as well.
Excellent. So plenty of rugby this weekend. Even if you aren't watching, well, you will watch the Rugby World Cup, but obviously only 2 games. At least there is other rugby to bet on. And let's see if the conductors had a look at any of those games.
Yeah, Brent, with regards to Pro 14, I'm pretty much in agreement with Hanrick. It's the game for the Cheetahs versus Connacht in Galway. I don't know if you guys know where Galway is situated, right on the coast, close to the Atlantic Ocean. I think they get a lot of really bad weather. So, often there's really bad, storms and wind and rain there. So it's not always easy to get involved, but like I said to the guys earlier in the week, I'm backing Ruan Pienaar, who played in Ireland for many years, backing his experience to know how to play in those conditions, and also backing the Cheetahs, athletic ability it looks like they've gelled as a big unit. I believe it's actually Ox in Chair's last game for the Cheetahs before he moves on to the Sharks. So, send off for him. Joseph Dweber's been in good form. I'm expecting a good game from them. So I'm medium on plus 6.5 Cheetahs. I took plus 4.5 also earlier in the week, but I like plus 6.5. I don't think it's enough respect for the Cheetahs. Connacht aren't a bad side, but I like Cheetahs there. I took some Benetton minus 15.5 earlier in the week. I see the cap has gone out a bit, but like again, I also agree with Hanrick. It's a rubbish King side. I just haven't seen. I've tried to follow Benetton's Twitter page. I haven't seen which players are coming back, which guys, but I expect all their talent players to be back. The first team starters. The game last year in Benetton, I think the scoreline was 33-3, and that was in horrendous conditions. So if the conditions are good, I think the Kings are going to take an absolute hiding. The Mitre10 Cup, I've got Tasman also long term to win it. Like Hanrick said, the last week was a bit of a scare. They didn't have a good game. But then in the breakdown, the guy said, look, maybe that was their one bad game. And then one can actually expect that. They've actually walked over everybody the entire season. So maybe that was their one wake-up. It's a big loss to lose Todd Blackadder. He's a tackling machine. But Jordan Tafua coming in, Will Jordan being fit, that's so crucial. I'm not going to have a bet on the handicap there, but I've got Tasman on the straight. Bayer Penny, I've got them also on the straight. And then I took minus 6.5 earlier in the week. Hawke's Bay played 100 minutes of rugby 6 days ago. So I think they're not going to be as fresh as Bayer Penny, who actually walked over. I can't remember who they played. They actually walked over whoever they played. It was an absolute annihilation. Manawatu, 61-7. I think it was more or less a scoreline. So, I'd still take Bayer Penny at -9. I think they're absolutely going to cream Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay fail was really not impressive against Otago last week.
Excellent. Some picks there in some of the other leagues. Just Shane asking if I'm going to do a World Cup sofa. So last week for the England-Australia game, we pretty much did a live feed through the entire game, and some of the guys joined us during the feed. It was actually pretty good fun. Unfortunately, Shane, I'm away at this water polo tournament for both games. Unless someone else wants to step in and host it, I'd be more than happy to give them access and let them set it up on the account, and I could even perhaps phone him. But at this point, there won't be any sofa game. I certainly did enjoy doing it. It was quite a bit of fun, and good fun having the guys come in as well. And then just to mention Keelan Creel, I see him in the live chat. Keelan, I did see your email. I will respond to you on the weekend as well, and thanks for making contact there. But let's go over to Oracle now and see if he fancies anything outside of the World Cup this weekend. I must apologize to Oracle. I could have called him in. The mute button's not working very well, so when I try and mute you,
I'm listening to the conductor. Yeah? No, I'm listening to the conductor. Yeah, Brendon, and I'm in agreement with him with regards to the Cheetahs. I think that I've benefited from the last 3 games minus. They've had single-digit minuses. They've all arrived 20 plus. They've been big. They've been 5-1 minuses if you can get them. And the Cheetahs have run rampant. I'm all over the Cheetahs to win this conference. Small play on them to win the tournament. I know it's a bit early, and it is their, I think it's their 3rd season now. Sorry, I stand to be corrected. I think it's the 3rd season. Connacht, and I got to tell you, we played. You guys might not remember, but one of the warm-up games for the 2007 World Cup when we won in France. We played Connacht as a warm-up game, and the handicap was -38, and I think it was 3-3 at halftime, and that's a little stadium. In fact, I think my kids' school seats more people in their ground than the Connacht stadium does. So it's a very small community out there, and I think the Cheetahs, like he said, with Ruan Pienaar, and I go back to, I don't know many other players, Ox and Chia, obviously know I think the Cheetahs will smash this team. And when I say smash them, they'll win by 5 or more. They're starting at a +5 handicap. They'll beat the handicap by 10 points. That you can take -5 here with confidence. Cheetahs will win this conference in the tournament. With regards to the Kings, I'm with and the conductor, I don't believe any good. I did win on one of their pluses earlier this year, guys. The other two I lost. I'm not interested. The Kings can buy money. Until I've seen them 5 games, I ain't touching them again. I'm not interested. All over the cheaters here. I think this is great. And it will give us a bit of something to watch, considering that we've got to get up early and have bacon and eggs for the semi-finals this weekend.
Excellent. Thanks, Oracle, for that. I haven't had a look at any of the other rugby outside of the World Cup this weekend. But, guys, what I'm going to suggest is let's end off with our best bets. Absolute best bet, because, of course, I've got to put the Good for the Game newsletter together overnight. I like to take the best bet from the rugby, put it in there, and then also throw a few others into an accumulator. And just to mention that if you haven't subscribed yet, there is a link just down below. You can subscribe to that for free and get our best bets on the weekend. So let's do that, and we'll start with Oracle. Oracle, give us your best bet for the weekend. You're bullish on a couple of them. What's your best?
Brent, my best bet is South Africa minus here. And honestly, it depends on the bookmaker. It depends on the thing with some of them got big minuses, but I'm honestly going for the biggest minus I can find here. I'm not joking. I'm looking for minus 28. I'm all over this. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely. I can't see the Welsh scoring more than 5 points here, given that they may get a penalty. They possibly even may get a second penalty. They're not going to score a try. So have 6 points. I think South Africa will get 35 on board. What's that? 5, 6, 7 try. They could even score 40 points here. I'm really interested here. Go and find yourself a proper minus. Don't worry about the -6s and -7s that the bookmakers have got at 0.9. Go find yourself a 2-1, 5-2, 4-1, 9-2, whatever. Go find a minus. I'm going to call this one. I'm going to go minus 24.5. So that's 25 or more, and that's where my main play is. I'm not going to play around with the little puppies. I'm going with the big dogs. I'm going minus 24.5. South Africa will win this game by 25 or more. Be very confident. I'm not playing.
Excellent. You've got to love the Oracle. He certainly is confident. Hanrick, your best bet.
Brent, I'm very concerned of my box -6 now, but I like the unders here on total points in the box game. Under 40.5, I like that spot.
Getting some applause there from Oracle on that one. And the conductor, your best bet.
Yeah, Brent, I would have said, obviously for guys, the best bets for guys are going to put money down now. And look, I said I was 6.5 on the box. At -1.5, I'm still confident, but it won't be my best bet. My best bet is going to be Ulster, -7.5 versus Cardiff. There's no respect being shown yet to Ulster by the bookies. Ulster made the semi-finals of Pro 14 last year. Cardiff are missing Anscombe, Navidi, Owen Lane has just gone to the World Cup. They're also missing 1 or 2 other guys, whereas Ulster have strengthened their side. I think hopefully if 1 or 2 of the guys can stay fit, like the South African, I can't remember his name now, our flanker, he was an absolute beast at the breakdown. If he can stay fit, I really like the way they played against the Kings. They tore them to shreds. And Ulster at home are a good beast. So, Ulster -7.5 will be my best bet. But it's Brent, I must say, it's also interesting. I see on the talk there, Chris McGowan is going to be a medic at the Cheetahs Connacht game. So we need to find out if we can get a fund going for maybe a twisted ankle, get the guy off, stamp on the leg. Maybe we can get something going there if the bets are going wrong.
I thought you were just going to ask for a weather report, not to actually take a player out. But anyway, good to have some guys around. I do enjoy all the guys, particularly we get a lot of guys from the Northern Hemisphere. Obviously, the time we do get the likes of Reverend coming in from the South, from New Zealand and that as well. But it's always good to have you boys on and your contributions as well. My best bet for the weekend, I'm with Hanrick on this one, the under 40.5 in the South Africa-Wales game. I will also have a close look at that Wales line. I do like South Africa to beat the handicap. But yes, I'm taking the Oracle. head on. I'm going England on the handicap, and of course he's got no interest in that whatsoever. The lads also laid me 1,000 to 25. First scoring player drop goal in the Welsh game. Another bet I will be taking, a little bit of a value play. I'm going to look around for a price, but I do think we will get a drop goal in the Bok game against the Welsh, and I think both teams could potentially go for it. But guys, thanks very much for joining us. It's been an excellent show. Thanks to all the guys who are in the live chat. If you're on YouTube videos, you've seen them for the first time, and you're on YouTube, do go down and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, then follow the Good for the Game page so you can be notified of any others. So guys, that's it. Let's have some good punting. And Oracle, I think one way or another, some money's changing hands between us this weekend. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday night for Use It or Lose It.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.